This is one of the best new Air Max models, and nobody is showing them any love. None. Yo, what's good guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. No, we are not talking about the Scorpion bullshit. That is interesting to say the least, but we are actually talking about the real best new Air Max model within Nike's lineup. And it's these bad boys right here, man. This is the Nike Air Max TW. Hot damn, they're beautiful. But these guys right here are kind of like an homage to just Nike's Air history or Air Max history. So the shoe itself is a very loose reinterpretation of the Nike Air Max Tailwind, which was originally released in 1979. It was the first Nike Air-based shoe, period, which is kind of cool. And then if you fast forward to the mid 90s, there was the Tuned Air, otherwise known as the Nike Air Max Plus, which these also, again, take very loose inspiration from. So nothing that you see on this model is like a direct copy and paste, like a hybrid. Like, what was that one shoe with the Vapor Max bottom? It came with the booklet. Oh man, they were actually pretty cool. It was a hybrid, but whatever they were, I'm sure that you guys are already commenting. So this is not quite like that, where it's literally like a direct tribute, but this is kind of paying homage to something old while also bringing in something new, which is that giant ass fatty air bubble in the back, which I love. This air bubble right here is exactly why I bought the shoe. This, while it doesn't say it completely in any of the product description or anything like that, but like I said, I'm from the 90s, so when I see this, not only does it remind me of the original Air Max units from the original Air Max models, but it's so big and bubbly and it protrudes out of the little openings and everything. It looks like the Nike Air Max 95 or what the Air Max 95 used to be.
What it aspired to be?
No, the original was. What the retro just isn't. Even the construction of the Air unit itself, where it has the mid seam, it's just 90s, man. Like, if Nike's doing this with this, why can't they do this with those? Now, as far as the outsole is concerned, looks like it could have been a modern performance runner in the mid 90s or early 2000s, but this is a lifestyle shoe, so it's not made for performance, even though I'm sure that you could run in them if you really wanted to, but I just wouldn't recommend it. You've got a little tribute to the old waffle stuff, so you got the little lugs there, which is always a cool touch. Now, while this is not a direct outsole feature or performance feature for the outsole, it's one of my favorite things about the outsole, and it's right here in the back of the heel. What it's actually doing is teaching you what the Air Max unit within the shoe is all about. So the yellow pod says low pressure. So inside this Air unit, there's gonna be two chambers, one on the outside, one on the inside. We just talked about this with the Nike Air Penny 2 Social Status. That was a different style Air Max unit, but a similar setup overall. Whereas the surrounding area around the outside, which explains that it is a high pressured air unit. So we've got a dual density setup or a dual setup right there. So you've got high density on the outside, low density on the inside, which means that when you are crashing your heel directly in the center, you're gonna absorb more impact, while the outside layer, which is a little bit more stable, is gonna keep you that way. So you're not gonna roll your ankle. Now again, this is not a performance shoe, so I would not run in these, but those were original performance features when we're talking about the Nike Air Max line, especially something like the Air Max 95. And I just think it's really cool that they're paying tribute to it, even though I do wish that the Air Max 95 would just look like this. Not like this, but that bubble, man, look at that thing. Damn, it's gorgeous. For those of you guys that don't know, it's a nice little personal fun fact. The Air units, or the visible air window, is exactly what drew me into the Nike brand. Like, that to me as a kid was the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. I needed it. Needed it. I gotta say, when I first got my first pair that had the Air unit in the back, it was the Air Moving Up Tempo. I don't know if you guys remember those. Man, if anything deserves a retro, that's one of them. But I was disappointed with those joints, man. Like, I was just like the shoe itself looked amazing. I loved them, absolutely. But as far as the way that the Air unit felt, because in my mind, I thought that it felt kind of like what these feel like. But back then, it wasn't quite like that, at least not yet. Now, the midsole itself is foam. It's Cushlon on top of that, so it's comfortable, man. Like, this is bouncy beyond belief. It's 360 degrees of bounce on top of that, so this Cushlon midsole just feels fantastic from the heel all the way to the toe. And again, I love it, man. Like, I love that Nike is using Cushlon so much now. Like, this stuff, I've been doing this for a long ass time. I've been on YouTube for like 13 years talking about sneakers, and when Cushlon was first introduced, to me at least, it was in like some of their lower end stuff, like the budget models, the CP3 line, Podulon, Podulite, stuff like that. And I was always like, man, this stuff feels amazing. Finally somebody's caught up to the program, man. They've been sitting on this for a hot minute. Now, the upper is just throwback everything. Like again, it's not a copy and paste job, so we're not like seeing direct cut and paste things from all the other Air Max shoes, but you're still seeing just like when you look at this, you know, right? I just absolutely love it. We got this cool like synthetic toe area. I wish that there was leather on the shoe. There's not. All the leather pieces are synthetic, so it's not a premium quality shoe or anything, but it also wasn't priced like that either. But anyways, it still looks like leather, so I dig it, and there's so little of it that, you know, it is what it is. But I absolutely love the back. Like, look at that thing, man. That's a call out to the 90s if I've ever seen one. As if this wasn't enough. Look at all that.
It's beautiful.
I even love the little ribbed collar and everything right at the top. Again, really old 90s and late 80s touch. They even added a tiny little swoosh right there at the collar lining, man. Like, I mean, this is Nike of old, okay? Like if you were to open up an East Bay magazine in like, say, 1994, and you're just flipping through the running section and you saw this on the page, you wouldn't think twice. You'd be like, cool. That's what this shoe reminds me of. I think that whoever designed these, whichever designer, team, all that stuff worked on it, you guys deserve a round of applause. Now this weird area that's at the midfoot to the toe is a really interesting material. It feels kind of plasticky, but it also feels very textile-like. I really like the weird ribs on it too. Like this is very tuned air, like Air Max Plus. I just really dig this. Like this is such a weird, cool shoe that is modern and old at the same time. And all of this stuff is mad breathable on top of that. So if you like your shoes to just be nice and airy while also featuring actual air, I mean, come on, man. Look at this, look at this. One last nod, and this is a direct nod. This is where it is kind of copy and paste, even though it still takes a little bit of a design liberty. It's right there at the tongue. You've got that old tuned air-like logo, even though at this time within Nike's history, all of their air products had a logo like this. So whether it was Zoom Air, Tuned Air, I think it was like, man, I can't even remember the other ones. It was like the Uptempo stuff had their own version and all that stuff, but this right here was on all of their air-based products or a logo like this. And that's how you kind of knew, especially back then. When you saw that, man, you were like, yo, I'm in for a treat. Like the old Garnets had that. Oh man, talk about another shoe that needs a retro. I should be in charge over there as far as like what to bring back.
That is a genius idea.
Now the insole is Durapontex. This actually feels good. It's thin and everything like that. It doesn't feel like it's like crazy nice or anything, but I do like the way that this feels over an Ortholite. It's a little bit more dense, even though it is very, very, very light in hand. But it does have a really nice feel, especially underfoot. It should mold to your foot really quickly as well. And as far as sizing is concerned, this is exactly why I wish more people were talking about this shoe, because I ordered my true size, and guess what, man? They fit hella big.
They're boats.
They're boots. Well, no, I'll stick with yours. Yours is better. So yeah, I wish that I had gone down half a size, but again, I didn't know. There was nobody talking about this shoe. I saw it on Nike's app or whatever, and I was like, wow, these are f***ing cool, man. One thing that I don't like my one criticism, is the entry is very difficult. It's like a sock tongue, but it's not, you know what I mean? Like it's not, it doesn't feel like nice and compressive on your foot. On top of that, it's like put together really weird. Like it's like right here, it's gusseted. So it's like you can't open it and everything. There's no stretch to it. So I wish that that part was like more elastic than what it actually is, just because it would have been a little bit easier to get in there and everything. But outside of that, I think these look great. What do you think about these? I know that you do like Air Max models.
I do.
And especially when they're comfortable, like what was it, the 2090? Is that what they were called? Or
yeah, I
and you beat the shit out of those. Like there was holes in them and everything. So this to me feels like something like that you would wear, given a colorway that you like. But overall, how do you feel about
I think
this
they
brand
did a
new
good
model?
job.
Yeah, I think so too, maybe. But with all that being said, let us know what you think about the Nike Air Max TW down below in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for all the support. If you wanted a pair, we'll probably have a link. They were on member access, but this is not like gonna be like a sellout shoe. It's gonna be like a slow burn type of shoe. But with all that being said, thank you guys once again, and we'll catch you on the next one. So until then, have a good one.
If you want to go look at links, go check out the one about this shirt.
Oh yeah, Sense Apparel is open permanently. We sell multiple shirts a day. It's weird, really cool actually, so thanks, I appreciate it. We're also working on some new...
I was leaving.
You could keep going, I'm just gonna keep talking. Keep it moving, man. But yeah, we're working on the Since the 90s right now. We're working on X-Men styled 90s, like animated. I'm not gonna give you guys too much, just wait.